hit. She just jumped.
Now, the boat's going after her.
She must have gone under. I can't see her.
You come with me, son. Call an ambulance.
I think they've got her.
We'd better be careful with her. I called for an ambulance.
I'm sorry, but we're too late. She's dead.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Yeah, I know. You had a million problems.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Can I help you?
I want the police.
You mean to say that after my rush to the airport to collect those, we haven't even got an appointment?
Oh, she's probably home by now. Phyllis Thornton has been waiting for these for a long, long time.
Let's hope she hasn't got tired of waiting.
Well, not a chance. You see, these belong to a set of 4 17th century miniatures, and Phyllis already has the other one.
I see.
They'll cost a fortune, but Phyllis Thornton can afford it. Plus 10% for my trouble.
Your trouble.
Must be something wrong with that bell. Phyllis. hallway seems okay. She's interested in spiritualism, witchcraft, that sort of thing.
I believe you.
Phyllis?
There he is. Look, he's got the wrong man. He's got a girl with him.
Listen to me. There was a guy in the apartment, and he's getting away.
You'll get your chance to explain. Inside.
I think you better take a look at the fuse box.
Surely you don't think we broke into the flat, do you?
You were here.
And we were downstairs when you went past. And if we were downstairs, then we couldn't have been upstairs, where you must have been when you saw the marks on the door and decided to call the police, and we went...
Cordelia, take it easy. You'll get us 10 years.
Yes. Yes. The young lady's right, officer. I remember now. They were downstairs.
Then it looks like we made a mistake. I'm very sorry, sir.
Forget it.
Excuse me. I seem to recognize you from somewhere.
I'm John Mannering. I'm in the antique business. We'd come to see Mrs. Thornton on business, and we found the door open. There was a man inside.
Would you recognize him again, sir?
Well, it was dark, and he ran for it, and I was chasing him when you stopped me.
Oh, I nearly forgot. He dropped this just behind the screen.
That face is familiar.
Caroline Spencer. She committed suicide about 2 months ago. Jumped into the Thames. The press made quite a fuss about it. A very rich family.
Suicide, huh?
Oh, yes, no doubt about it. There were several witnesses. She jumped, believe me.
Well, if you don't need us anymore...
No, that's quite all right. If there is anything else, we know where to contact you.
Thank you. Porter, are you expecting Mrs. Thornton back anytime soon?
No, I'm not, sir.
Or did she leave a forwarding address?
No. She makes a few trips each year. Never leaves one.
Let's not forget the merchandise.
Good night. We didn't get very far, did we? I mean, Phyllis Thornton could be taking a vacation in the Brazilian jungle for all we know.
All right, that's one up to you.
Where to now?
There's somebody I've got to see.
How should I know where Phyllis is?
She's your wife.
Yeah, that's what's written on a scrap of paper I've got. It's the only way I can tell. She'd divorce me if she could, but I've been too clever for her. I've been a good boy, and it'll pay off. I tell you, it'll pay off.
Not interested in that, Thornton. Just tell me where she is.
Oh, I thought you were friends.
We lost touch.
Makes two of us.
Look, this is important.
You want to sell her something? Is that it?
You think what you like.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I don't like passing up a buck either.
You know where she is? Yes or no?
You know, the trouble with Phyllis is she was always easily led. She let people influence her too much. You'd think that money of hers would be some sort of defense. Boy, she got money.
Yeah. I imagine you know. Down to the last penny.
Oh, I know, yeah, sure I do. That's why I married her. I wanted her money. You see, unlike some people, I come right out and say it. Now, look, Mannering, I don't know where she is, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll arrange for you to see one of her old cronies. If anyone knows where she is, she does. Personally, I don't stand a chance, but maybe she'll talk to you. Yeah, that's it. John Mannering. Trying to pin something on me, Mannering? Here's the address. Madame Bergonzi expects you at 8. She's, having a little affair.
Thank you. I'll try to make that.
She'd like you to take a friend. Oh. You have got a friend, Mannering, I suppose?
Phyllis Thornton's supposed to be here.
I don't know, but if she isn't, we might get a lead.
You really are taking this thing seriously, aren't you, John? Just how much did you pay for those miniatures?
Much more than they're worth, without the fourth one. No, you're right. I could lose a lot of money if we don't find Phyllis. But that isn't really the reason I'm looking.
Think she's in trouble?
I keep remembering Carolyn Spencer.
Oh, the girl who jumped from the bridge.
Yeah.
Think they're connected?
Well, they have a lot in common. They're both missing, both very rich.
True.
I have an appointment with Madame Bergonzi.
You must be Mr. Mannering and your friend.
Yes.
We've been waiting for you.
You're Madame Bergonzi?
My professional name.
I see. Well, there are one or two questions I'd like to ask you.
Yes, of course. If you'd like to go through, we're just about to start. I'm sure you'll learn whatever it is you wish to know. This is Mr. Mannering. I'll introduce you all before we begin.
Is there a spirit present with us? Is there a spirit present with us? Is there anyone here you would like to speak to? Which of us is chosen?
His name was Reynolds, a fairly unsuccessful private eye. He was working on the Caroline Spencer case.
Somebody didn't think it was suicide, eh?
Oh, the parents. A natural reaction, of course.
I wonder if he'd found out anything about Phyllis Thornton.
What makes you say that?
He was in her apartment. When he came through that window at the seance, he wanted to tell me something.
Well, we've not been able to find any connection. Incidentally, how did you get onto this Begonzi woman?
The husband, a weirdo, a complete opportunist.
Right, I'll put a tail on him. Oh, I checked the Begonzi circle. They're cranks, nothing more.
Cranks need money like anyone else.
You know, I had the feeling that someone there was keeping an eye on us. Someone we couldn't see.
Maybe Reynolds did.
Inspector, I'd like to have another look at Phyllis Thornton's apartment.
Yes, I had the lock changed yesterday.
We won't be long.
Well, thank you, sir.
John, is this Mrs. Thornton?
Yes.
Well, what do I do?
Take a look around.
Wouldn't the police have done that?
Yeah, but they probably didn't know what they were looking for either.
The Order of the Seven Stars.
Yes. One of those spiritualist things, a religious cult. Like I told you before, Phyllis Thornton had an obsession about that sort of thing.
child. Wake. Wake.
Still here. In this room. In this terrible room. Help me.
Oh, is it no better? Do you still imagine you are in that nightmare room? Still see bars on the window? Blank white walls?
I can see them. Yes, I can see them. Look. Look. Look at the windows. There are iron bars that cross them. Look.
There are no bars, my child.
There are. There are. I can't be dreaming or imagining.
No. No, you are not. What you see is the symbol of your sins. The retribution you must pay until you are cleansed. Until I, the chosen one, lead you to the peace you must attain.
Tell me what I must do. Please tell me what I must do.
Look. Look around you. A photograph of your parents. Paintings you made as a child. Look.
I can't see them. I can't see them. Please, let me sit up. Please, unfasten the straps. Help me.
My child, you can sit up if you want to. There are no straps holding you.
I can't move. I can't. Why? Why? Help me.
Of course, if it would do any good, I would give my own life. Rest. Rest, my child. Perhaps you will come to see things as they really are.
No. Please. Please.
When she wakes, let her stay conscious for an hour, then give her another shot.
Physically, she's cracking up with all these drugs. I don't like it.
You don't have to like it, Sarah, my dear. Just do as you're told.
You're not in the room with her all the time. You don't see her face. Is there no other way?
I'm afraid there isn't. After our failure with Caroline Spencer, Mrs. Thornton's considerable fortune is all we've got to fall back on. I'm sure that even your conscience wouldn't allow you to lose that. I thought not. But if it's any consolation, it'll soon be over.
All right. But if we go on pumping these drugs into her, it'll kill her.
All in good time, Sarah, my dear. All in good time. You want me, Johnny?
It's Mannering. He's downstairs.
Mannering? What can I do for you, Mr. Mannering?
Are you in charge here?
In charge? Well, I suppose you could say that I am in charge. I prefer to think of myself as the representative of the powers that control us all, Mr. Mannering. My followers call me the chosen one.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm interested in one of your followers, Phyllis Thornton.
Oh, yes, a charming woman. Her dedication is very touching.
I'd like to see her.
Well, Mr. Mannering, I'm sure you have her address.
Yes, I tried there.
And?
Well, nobody had seen her for at least a month.
And what makes you think I will be able to help?
She's one of your followers.
Mr. Mannering, people come to me of their own free will. I try to guide them to a better, freer life, but I exercise no hold of them. Mrs. Thornton chooses to disappear, as you say, then that is a decision of her own.
Then you have no idea where she is?
No, none. If she had wanted me to know, she would have told me. As I'm sure she would have told you.
Well, thank you for your help.
How much do you think he knows?
I have no idea, Johnny, but I intend to find out. It might save us all a lot of inconvenience if Mr. Mannering were to have an accident.
Johnny Haswell here. Listen, we're in trouble.
All right, all right. You better tell me exactly what happened.
It went more or less as we planned. The trouble was another car turned up. We had to make a run for it.
And Mannering wasn't dead?
No. But they took him away in an ambulance.
I suppose it'd be too much to hope that you know where he is now.
Yeah, we checked that out. It's why we're so late phoning in.
We can't afford to take any chances. He's got far too close as it is. You'll have to finish him off. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard. We'll take care of it.
We investigated as soon as we heard. Everything points to it being an accident.
Then why did the truck driver disappear?
What else do you expect? It was a stolen vehicle.
It's quite a coincidence.
All right. A coincidence. But I won't buy it as a deliberate attempt on your life.
All right, Inspector, have it your way. What do you hear about Reynolds?
Nothing.
Well, just as a matter of interest, why don't you take a look at this list of addresses and see if Caroline Spencer's been at any one of them?
If you think it'll do any good. Pretty good. Are these in order of appearance?
I've already visited the Temple of the Seven Stars, but I don't want to influence you. Just check them out.
I'll get back to the office. Don't say it, nurse. We're just leaving. Be in touch, Mannering.
Any orders?
Yeah, it's going to take about a week to get my car fixed. You better pick me up tomorrow about,
3 o'clock should be fine.
3 o'clock.
Okay. Good night, John.
Right. What's that?
Something to give you a good night's rest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, Mr. Mannering.
Good night, nurse.
It's okay. He's got a room on the ground floor. Go on, let's get it over with. Number 6.
Good night, sister.
Good night, Doctor. Good afternoon, nurse. I've come to collect Mr. Mannering. Oh. Feeling better after your rest?
Oh, I feel fine.
Did I say something?
Your boss had a couple of visitors last night. Tried to make sure they left here feet first.
Then this isn't a coincidence. It was delivered this morning at the shop.
Oh, it's an invitation to meet Phyllis Thornton this afternoon at the Temple of the Seven Stars.
Hmm? Wonder if they are connected. I mean, it's hardly the move of a would-be assassin, is it?
Could be that's what they want us to think. Inspector, I'd like to keep that date.
All right. But look after yourself. That place gets a bit kinky.
I promise not to join the order. I think it might be better if you stayed here.
Don't you believe it? I'm coming in with you.
I advised her most strongly to see you, Mr. Mannering. And at first she refused. She was most insistent that I should keep her whereabouts secret. That's why I said what I did on your previous visit.
I understand.
But she's still very sick. She suffered almost a complete nervous breakdown.
Then shouldn't she be in hospital?
She's receiving the most up-to-date treatment, Miss Winfield. I can only ask you not to trouble her with too many questions. Mrs. Thornton. Mrs. Thornton, wake up. There's somebody to see you.
Hello, John.
Hello, Phyllis. We had a hard time finding you.
I'm sorry. I wanted it this way. Everyone here is being very kind. They're trying to help me so much. Oh, you might think it was a selfish thing to do, but I've got nobody. Nobody. All I want is a little happiness. And I believe that here I have a chance of finding it.
I'm afraid I must ask you to leave now, Mr. Mannering. Mrs. Thornton tires very easily.
What did you want to see me about, John?
Just a small business matter. We'll talk about it later.
Thank you for coming, John. I do appreciate it. And believe me, I'm in good hands.
Try to get a little rest now, Mrs. Thornton.
Goodbye, Phyllis.
Why didn't you let me tell her about the miniatures?
Did you see her eyes?
Everything looked all right to me.
She's full of drugs. I've got to get her out of there.
Then if you think that, why not contact the police?
Because that'll take time. And that's the one thing that Phyllis hasn't got.
She signed it. Complete authorization to administer her estate. I can write her checks, buy and sell property. Everything we've worked for is in this document.
Is she all right?
I sit with her. We don't want anything to happen to Mrs. Thornton till we decide that it should. This is what we've planned, Sarah, my dear, ever since we opened our little haven. Now that we've succeeded, I'll keep my promise. We shall live as you want, as we've always intended. After tonight's meeting, our flock will lose a leader.
The chosen one, 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 the chosen one.
Tell us, chosen one. Tell us the word of the great master.
I am your chosen one, representative on earth of the great master. Representative on earth of the great master of our galaxy. I have brought you his word. And now it is his wish that I leave this place. I have brought you his word. And now there is other work for me to do.
Phyllis, do you hear me?
John. Is it John?
Yes. I'm taking you away from here.
Oh, no, you can't. I want to stay here, John. You're helping me so much.
We'll talk about that later.
No, I want to talk about it now. I'm ill. I'm sick. Do you know what I see in this room? I see bars at the windows and straps on my bed and...
Phyllis, they're here. Touch them. They're real.
But my children, though I leave you, I promise that
I can't.
I'll help you.
All right, Mannering. That's all.
What are you going to do? Shoot us?
If I have to.
You can't afford to pull that trigger. People downstairs will hear you. You can't kill me. Think of the questioning, the explaining. It was Reynolds, wasn't there? They might even get around to Carol and Spencer. If you're going to do something, do it now, or get out of my way.
Wait, listen. There's money in it, lots of it. I've got control of her estate. You can ask any price you like, anything.
You lied! You cheated! I'll kill you!
Phyllis.
Stop him, my children! Stop him! Stop him! Do you hear?
Well, you can stop me if you want to. I'm not running away.
Don't believe him, my children. He's got a gun!
Yes, I've got a gun. That shouldn't bother you. You're immortal. That's what he's offering you, isn't it? Immortality? That's what he offered Mrs. Thornton. Here.